Family, welcome to the channel. The channel that you're watching now is called The Layman. It's just basically a brain dump channel, things that confuse me, trying to get some kind of, finding some balance, And sometimes, I'm not a conspiracy theorist yet. I'm not there quite yet. But, sometimes watching certain things, like we're going to be looking at President Trump and Mamdani, two people on opposite ends of the political spectrum. Mamdani is a socialist, I believe, who won the mayoral race for New York, and he's also a Muslim. And he and Trump are now in the Oval Office, talking about having had a really productive conversation where they had a meeting of the minds and they plan to do some great things for New York, which is excellent news. However, the things that they've been saying about one another, like as Mamdani was campaigning, just seemed to me just baffling that they are now such they seem to kind of be buddies, you know what I'm saying? And I'm excited for the press conference. I kind of want to see where this leads. Look, if you've been enjoying this channel, I deeply appreciate you for journeying with me just into the kind of the dark shadows of my mind. Let's see what happens here with Donald Trump and Mamdani.
Very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for Mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
So Mamdani, I believe, has said that he would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he visits New York, which would be either Netanyahu or Vladimir Putin or both of them. He said he would arrest them if they visited New York, which would definitely set off a third world war. Like, imagine having the president of a nuclear power be arrested and held captive by another country. Mamdani said that he would do that, I believe. And, Trump has called him a communist. It's been very, very bitter between the two of them. So watching them stand there as partners and buddies and smiling at each other, it's just like it's a little bit more than the mind can handle sometimes. I just want to confirm. Give me just a sec. Let's see. Wake up, Oracle. Is it true that Mayor Mamdani of New York said that he would have either Vladimir Putin or Benjamin Netanyahu arrested if they visited New York?
So, yep, it's true that Zohran Mamdani, who's the mayor-elect of New York City, did say he would have Benjamin Netanyahu arrested if Netanyahu came to New York, based on an ICC arrest warrant.
That's bizarre. And so, yeah, I just want to see how they, if they can dance.
We didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I change a lot.
Guys, how is this not comedy? Right? At some point, you just have to realize that we live in a dream, and you can either have that be a lucid dream, or you can have that be like a dream that you take literally, and then it has the potential to become a nightmare. I choose the former, right? This is crazy. Trump is like, yeah, he has some views that are, that are out there, but he'll change, don't we all? Imagine that, right? He's been calling the guy a communist. He's been beating the crap out of this guy, hoping that he doesn't win the mayoral race. And now that he's visiting the White House, Trump is like, yeah, his views they're kind of silly, but he's young. Whoosh.
Changed a lot from when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And
see, I do respect that, because now he's putting himself in front of, because the far right is very aggressive against communism, socialism, a lot of different isms. But for Trump to say, hey, you know what? Despite his far out ideas, I think that he has the capacity to change some things now that he's in the hot seat. He'll grow and he'll develop and he'll understand the fallacy of his ways, at least according to Trump. And, he's putting himself out there and saying, look, I think he'll change conservative minds. He'll win over some conservative hearts with the job that he'll do. And I respect that response. I see how the mayor responds.
Some very liberal people, he won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare.
See, this is what journalism is for. See, the person who's asking that question, making it awkward in the room, he's like, okay, which one of you is BSing, right? You guys didn't go back there and have like birthday cake and ice cream. Who is actually going to get their agenda done? Is it Donald Trump who's going to get his agenda done in New York? Or is it Mamdani who has a very, very alternative agenda? Don't play buddy-buddy here because you're in front of me and you're like, oh yeah, we'll get the, No. This is the reason journalists exist, to ask these difficult questions so that we can see who really has the backbone here. Respectfully, I would love to hear the mayor's response.
President Trump is a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda.
He said, I will be his worst nightmare. The mayor said, I will be his worst nightmare. And now, standing next to the man, he's saying, oh, we're going to do great things together. We're working together. We like each other's agenda. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something.
The shared purpose we have on serving New Yorkers. You know what I mean? Let me translate what he said into algorithmia, right? What he said, what he means to say is, in order to win the election, I had to say the most dramatic things possible, or else the algorithm would not have pushed me in front of the eyes needed to elect me. These days, if you want to run for politics, you have to say the most crazy things ever. You can't say, I disagree with my political opponent. You have to say, he's a Nazi. If you don't want him in, as for instance, Trump didn't want Mamdani to win. He's like, yeah, you're a communist. You're going to make us the USSR. You have to bring up the old Red Scare rhetoric, don't you? This is fascinating to me.
Also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty.
So you're no longer his worst nightmare. He's no longer a despot. He's no longer a scumbag. He's now your partner. Is that fair?
And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
Who's playing the game better? Trump said, I've been called far worse. I mean, have you seen Bill Maher? Bill Maher, after he visited the White House, was just like, you know what? Trump is a far, far greater human being than he appears to be on the TV screen. I mean, I had a great time. That's Bill Maher, the one who kind of hated him the most. And see how jovial Trump is? He doesn't take any of these insults seriously because the people running against him don't take them very seriously. They're just saying them because this is politics nowadays. Politics nowadays, I mean, it serves the algorithm, and the algorithm will only promote you if your headlines and your sound bites are sufficiently scary.
I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.